G'day folks, Alan Cook, the LNP candidate for Kawangbar. I'm here today at the Pine Rivers Locksmiths talking to Daryl at Paisley Drive at Lorne. G'day Daryl, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks Alan.
Good to meet you, very good. Hey listen, I've had a lot of my constituents talk to me in regards to home security and what they can do to ensure the security of their valuables inside the house. And the reason I talk to them about security is that things like, I'll just grab this out of my pocket here, things like your car keys. It's very rare that people can steal your car these days without stealing your car key, and they normally will break into your house, steal your spare keys and things like that, and valuables like your mobile phones, your iPads and things like that. And you can do two things. You can hide them all around your house, in your linen closet, in your pantry, but you need a good memory and you're probably going to forget where you've lost half your stuff. And the other way is to go and buy yourself a safe. So, you know, a motor vehicle like I own a Jeep, which is worth $1 million. If you own something like a Mercedes or a BMW, it's a big investment for you to put your money to. Your jewellery, you know, women's jewellery, $20,000 worth and things like that, put them in a trusty old safe. Now what I want to talk to you about today is the different types of safes. Now I know I can go down to my local hardware chain and I can buy a what they call a safe for $80. I probably would call them a lockbox because realistically they're like a filing cabinet and there's no fireproofing and things like that. So can you explain the difference to the audience in regards to the safes that you can buy there and these types of safes?
Yeah, no worries at all. So basically there are a few different styles of safes. The ones that usually the hardware chains carry are a basic safe. The $80 ones are basically just a locked box. The locks on those are really, for someone like us, a 10-minute inconvenience. For someone who comes along with a battery operated grinder or something, again, not a long delay. The range we carry obviously starts with something that's similar to that, which is still just a locked box, no fire rating, but they do have a digital lock on them with a key override. Now the key override on these are a safe key override. Again, to operate it, just put in your code. This one's set on the factory code at the moment. They use a motor to drive them open, and quite a big storage area, so if you've got some bolt down holes in the bottom if you want to bolt it down as well. Much better than just leaving your jewellery or something out on the Duchess.
Now I'll tell you what I do want to mention to the punters out there is, if you buy a safe like this and they come with bolt downs, so you can bolt them to your floor or to your wall, make sure you do that, because it would not be the first time I've come across a bloke running down the street carrying a portable safe. It's a little embarrassing when you have to tell the police that he's got away with the safe because you forgot to bolt it down.
Yeah, definitely, because something like that's only about 25-30 kilos, so one guy can walk out with that pretty easily.
Now the other thing for you, Daryl, is the one thing that they don't want to do also is these override keys here, you don't want to put them in the safe.
Yeah, no, we always tell people that. Keep your keys safe and not in the safe, so yeah.
Okay, so what's our next safe we want to have a look at here?
So stepping up from the one without any fire rating at all, you step to something like this fella here, which has got a fire rating. Digital touch lock again. The one on this has your locking points, has the fixed locking points, so if they were to cut the hinges off it, can't be swung open. These have a metal exterior with a powder interior. The powder gives you a 60-minute paper rating to an Australian standard. So, you know, that'll protect stuff like your deeds or your will or anything like that that you've got in there, as well as your jewellery and stuff.
Okay, so basically, also apart from the fact that burglars trying to steal your gear, if your house or your room is subject to a fire, this will protect things like your jewellery and that for a period of time. Yeah,
exactly. Now obviously if it does go through a fire, you're not going to be able to come home and touch it and open it up.
Yep.
Then you call someone like us to open it for you. So, going from something like that to the next grade up, they do a couple of different sizes.
Now this is the good old safe that I'm used to. Yep. These suckers are pretty heavy, aren't they?
Yeah, so this fella's 120 kilos. It's a commercial grade digital lock. Basically much thicker, much bigger lockdown points as far as your bolting points. 16mm bolt holes in the bottom, and you've got 4 of those. 2 adjustable shelves you can adjust on the racking on the side, and you lose a little bit of your security for your fire because of the construction. They only have half-hour fire rating to the Australian standard, but batteries are external, so no key override at all, and they run a 9-volt battery.
Okay, now, if that battery, when it goes flat and you have to change that, what happens to your code here?
So it remains to the code you've set in it. It doesn't revert back to a factory code at all.
Now, what sort of price are we looking at for a safe like this?
So this is the Home Guard. It's $11.80 in the digital. The combination and the key are a little bit cheaper, but in saying that, the beauty of the digital is nice and quick to open. Once you've been in there and you've changed your goods around, got your goods out, as soon as you shut that again, it's self-locked. With a key, if you turn the handle, you've got to remember to lock it with the key, otherwise it's unlocked. With a combination, same thing. You have to spin that combo at least 4 full turns.
Okay, fantastic. So if we want to come across to these ones here, these the colour ones there, what have we got there, Darryl?
So these are the Loctec range of safes. Now they do 3 different sizes that we have in stock. They've got the small, the medium and the large. Very similar in construction to the Yale safe we looked at before with the powder in it, which gives you the hour fire rating.
Yep.
Start button, put your code in, it automatically opens up. Locking pins, you've got a fixed rear locker and 1 bolt down in the bottom. Unfortunately you're stuck with that 1 bolt down because if you start drilling other holes to bolt it down, the powder starts escaping and you start to lose your integrity.
But that looks fairly sturdy there, that 1 bolt down. If you get that into in through your masonry or things like that,
yeah,
she's not coming up easily.
And still a good quality home safe. They also have a shelf on the top that you can put cash, jewellery and stuff in as well. So.
Now, one thing that needs to be said is if you do go to the extent of buying one of these, they're only as safe as long as you lock it.
Definitely, yeah. So obviously there's a little bit of preventative maintenance as well. Checking your batteries. Most of the safes will give you a low battery indicator when you're using them. So when you put your code in, you get the green light come on. If it was going flat, the red light would just flash as well, telling you it's time to change your batteries.
Alright Darryl, now look, you've been in the game long enough and I've been in law enforcement long enough to know that we're not going to get people breaking down your door to buy safes because human nature is human nature and we generally won't go out and buy this type of item until it actually happens to us. But you know, if you spend the money and prepare for the worst case scenario, you won't be sorry down the track.
Yeah, unfortunately that's fairly true. We see a lot of safe sales after the fact. Some people look at it as a preventative and that's the best case scenario. I know of people who have been broken into, had their gear enclosed and stuff. They've actually taken the clothes so they've lost their jewellery anyway. So if you've got it in a safe, most break-ins are done by people looking for quick cash, your car keys, stuff like that, and they are getting more brazen than they ever have been. So having them in a locked safe is an advantage.
And I know what I've done is, it took me a while, but it becomes a routine before you go to bed at night times. You grab your wallet, you grab your iPads, you grab all your electronic gear and your valuables and you stick them in your safe, turn it off, get into bed. In the morning, you open it up. It's going to save you the inconvenience of weeks of insurance claims, trying to get your cards back, trying to get your jewellery back and things like that.
Yeah, well let's look at it. If you had something like your wallet go missing, it takes a long time to chase up all those cards and get them renewed. So if you do get in that practice of putting your gear in the safe every night, if you've got something like a digital or if you're very fluent with a combination safe, still quite easy to get into to do that daily. Something like an in-ground is good if you're putting long-term valuables in it, can be a bit fiddly getting into every day. So.
All right, Darryl, I thank you very much for your time this afternoon. There's some great tips and great hints for us. If you're interested in buying a safe or Darryl, come down here to Pine Rivers Locksmiths and mention you saw this video and see what sort of deal Darryl can do for you. Remember, security starts with you.